YG12.com, day of 9/11, part 1, my personal experience. This is part 2, actually. I ended that one, part 1 short because I didn't want to run out of time. Hearing them sirens across the water was insane. Fucking across the Hudson, you could hear the fucking sirens, man. That was nuts. All the cranes, all the operators at Global Terminal, all the big machines that pulled the freight off of the containers off the ships were all controlled by satellite from the towers. I remember standing on top of my van, on top of graffiti me and my buddy DJ put there 2.5 weeks earlier, the day before he passed away, and standing on top of that fucking thing, feeling like he was with me, like he always has been every day since. And we watched the towers come down, man. Like, not on TV, you know. We weren't in New York, we didn't see them fuckers firsthand come down on top of us, but we seen them shits across the water. We were the last people on land in Jersey that fucking second plane went over. That's no bullshit. And it was crazy that morning. Me and Scott still talk about it. Like, that morning we were saying, wow, man, it's such a fucking beautiful day, and look at that view of the city, man. We gotta bring our fucking camera one day and get a shot of this. That's no shit. To this day, we still talk about it. Like, that morning we said, man, we gotta get a camera, we gotta get a shot of this. This is too ill, working right on the water, looking at New York like that every day. And there was a few thousand people that worked at Global Terminal. We were some of the last people out of there, our demolition crew at that time. I remember, I'll never forget it, sitting there watching the towers come down, watching one come down. I forget which one came down first, but I'm saying one of the first building that came down. I remember standing on top of my van, watching it come down, not believing it. You know, I called my family members to make sure my brother and everybody was okay. I remember watching the tower come down and just seeing the one there with the antenna, and thinking, you know, that's the one my dad helped build when he was with Koch's Steel in Carteret, New Jersey, which built those fucking towers. Carteret, New Jersey, motherfucker, don't you ever forget that. That's where all that metal came from. Most of the metal in New York City, all your bridges, all your buildings, came from Carteret, New Jersey, a company called Koch's Steel. And if you don't believe me, check your fucking facts. Thinking, you know, my dad helped build that building. You know, I felt so bad for the people inside that building. So bad, man. All the innocent people that just went to work trying to provide fucking food for their families and shit. For some fucking, you know, at the time I didn't even know what he thought, what we think now, or what the majority of people think now. You know, we thought whatever they told us at that time. They could have told us fucking Frosty the Snowman attacked us and we would have fucking fell for it. I'll never forget leaving that port, trying to get over the bridge on the turnpike, going towards Newark Airport, and seeing rows of fucking, they blocked the north entrance going towards the Holland Tunnel. They had, it was nothing but rows and rows of ambulances and EMTs and police and fire and rescue and all that shit. And that was beautiful, and everybody honking. We had, before we went there, we couldn't get to the turnpike because it was all backed up, so we went towards the Bayonne Bridge to try to go through Staten. We didn't realize all the bridges and shit were closed to go, you know, out. And we had to turn around, me and my boy Scott, in the van. We bumped into our boss Frankie, and he was with my boy Gene and Rick and Andrew. No, Gene wasn't with us. It was Andrew and Rick and Frankie. And Frankie bought everything on the fucking roach coach. Stocked up. We thought Red Dawn. That's straight up what it felt like. Red Dawn was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I watched that movie like religion. So it was kind of like, get your guns and your ones, motherfucker, because this is Red Dawn. Wolverines, you know what I'm saying? You ain't taking me alive, bitch. Fucking, we couldn't get in there, so we went back to the turnpike. We got on there finally. We got home. It took us forever to get home. You know, we had no cell phones really or anything at that time. Not everybody, at least. And we made it home. Remember, the phone just wouldn't stop ringing and everything. I called my father, I called my mother, I talked to everybody, my brothers. I remember having a deep conversation with my brother and my father, and him just telling me he's in Florida. And he told me to protect his fucking house, protect my loved ones, no matter what. And you fucking ain't right, I didn't, I would've. And, I remember calling my buddy at the time, Eric. And, the little thing when we were kids, whenever, we'd watch Red Dawn and really think one day this shit's gonna happen, So the plan was to always meet up at Eric's. So first thing when I got back into town, I called Eric. I talked to his mother, rest in peace, and I talked to her for a while, and Eric wasn't home. She was telling me about incidents that happened in Krausers, with people cheering, certain ethnic races cheering when the buildings came down, and how she took their milk and threw it at them. And it wasn't just her that said it, there was a lot of people that witnessed that at a few spots in our town. We didn't take too kind to that. And yeah, we let them know. That shit ain't flying around here, motherfucker. Neither will you. As much as there's law in this land, there's still a law of the land. Wolverines, motherfucker.